Let's go ahead and move on to this next topic right here. And I can't wait to hear what Larry has to say about this right here. But my goodness gracious. Well, Variety, AMC, Regal, and Cinemark will no longer require masks for vaccinated people. You know what I'm saying? Movie theater chains, including AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, will no longer require fully vaccinated guests to wear face masks. And again, guys, if you're watching live in the recap, the link to this article is down in the description box. Consistent with the latest CDC guidance and following consultation with public health experts, AMC theaters guests who are fully vaccinated are no longer required to wear face coverings at AMC locations unless it is mandated by state or local ordinances. AMC said in a statement, guests who are not fully vaccinated are asked to continue wearing masks. All other aspects of AMC's safe and clean policies and procedures, including seat blocking, remain in place at this time. And I'm gonna pause right there before I read any more. Larry, I'm coming to you, sir. How you feeling about this Platinum Plus idea right now from AMC? I'm teasing, but how you feeling, my brother? How you feeling?
I'll tell you right now that I would be okay with this if we had a vaccine passport in this country, but we don't. And they're trying to put us on the honor system. And I can tell you right now, this country is filled up with a bunch of mother effing liars. People will get up there and they'll go to the movies and they won't want to wear a mask. And they'll sit up there and say, oh, no, I'm vaccinated. I'm good. Knowing good and well that they are not. And you're going to and let it be that we have another outbreak or something that comes around in the fall when people are
coming. It's coming.
You know, with all these variants that are out there, let there be another outbreak and it's traced back to one of these theaters anywhere. And it doesn't matter where it is. Let it be anywhere where it says, oh, I hadn't been out for the last year and a half and I finally went to the movies and then I got COVID. They're going to be like, oh, nope, we're shutting all this stuff down. It's all shut down again. And I can tell you right now, these theaters cannot survive another major shutdown right now. So they can go ahead. They can go ahead and play this game if you want to and see what happens. And, you know, I mean, it's just the life of your business model. So, you know, but it's going to happen. There's going to be another outbreak. And if it's traced back to a theater, good luck surviving that.
And before I come to you, Sharronda, another quote, masks will not be required unless mandated by state and local guidelines. I feel like I just said that. Wear masks are mandated. They can be removed only while eating or drinking, and that's not going to work. While seated in an auditorium, the statement continues, employees monitor auditoriums throughout each performance at a standard practice. Sharronda, how are you feeling about all this, man?
Hold on, let me ask you, Sharronda, can I ask him a question right quick? Because he's talking about the food and drink. What happens when somebody eats a piece of popcorn and gets stuck in their throat and they start coughing like crazy? What happens then? You think people are going to be comfortable when the person that's 3-4 seats down from you is hacking and coughing in the theater?
I hear you, brother. I hear you. That's a good observation.
Let's be clear. Let's just keep it 100. First of all, during the pandemic, those workers were not doing a damn thing to make sure people had their mask on. I went to the movies one time during the pandemic into a regular screening, and I was at an AMC. These people had their mask off. They was talking. I went and told the people, you think somebody came in and said something? You think anybody even came in while the whole movie was going on? It was only 4 people in the damn theater. They're liars. They're stupid. They're stupid. I just don't understand why. Okay, we're finally opening back up. And now y'all thinking because some Negroes up here got some vaccines that everybody got vaccines? Most of my friends who literally had COVID are not getting vaccines. There is a lot of people not getting vaccines. And you want me to trust these dumb people with an honor system? System? There ain't no honor. Then it's like you could forge that. Even if we have vaccine passports, people can forge that. If you have, think about it, you had fake IDs while you was growing up to get liquor and stuff, to get in the club, you can get a fake vaccine passport. So this is blowing my mind that when you finally are open to get revenue, that you're literally going to put yourself in jeopardy. Y'all can't wait 2 hours. You can't keep a mask on for 2 hours. Is it that hard for you? Is that hard for you to keep a mask on for 2 hours? I have asthma and I can keep a mask on for 2 hours. Okay. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And
You know?
Say, hold on.
Who gonna be sitting here arguing with people? Who gonna be, hey, put your mask back on? I'm not finna argue with y'all. So I'm not taking my behind. Even with press screens, they were like, hey, we're doing a press screen. And then I realized it was open to the public. I said, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. We're not doing this. So I think that this is stupid. There's going to be a second wave, especially you got Comic-Con having a whole thing during things. Everybody finna be stuck in the house again. Just mark my words. Y'all ass is gonna be stuck in your house because everybody wanted to be stupid and wanted to be on the honor system. So good riddance, okay? They're done.
Few things. First of all, don't y'all love her energy? She is hilarious. Second, just real quick, Sharronda, did you go see Quiet Place 2 to theaters?
Yes, but it was a present-only screening. Gotcha.
Okay. And before I come to you, One Take, let me just grab the super chat real quick from our boy Ernest Holloway. Yes! Thank you so much, sir, for the $5 super chat. Larry, I want to thank you. I got my second shot last week. I got 20 people at my job to get the shot.
Shout out to him. That's what you call community leadership right there.
Good stuff.
Now, and again, I'm not gonna lie. I'll go ahead and say I haven't got any shot yet. But I was talking
this Negro. I'm out.
Chill out. Hold on.
That's why your package got stolen.
Why you didn't get no shot?
Well, I don't want to get into.
You see all that stuttering?
What had happened was.
Exactly. What had happened was.
What you did to yourself?
I was gonna say. I was having a conversation with a number of my black friends earlier today that are always been like, we're not getting the vaccine, but they were saying, you know what, I'm leaning towards it. I'm feeling more comfortable. You know, so I'm just saying a large, because where my friends are split down the middle. Half of them got it, half of them like F that. But the F that crowd today was saying that they're leaning more towards getting it. You know, so I'm just letting y'all know. I think this is a stupid ass idea as well. And One Take, before I come to you, since we was talking about everybody not getting vaccinated, if you look at this article, I like how it says United States COVID-19 vaccination rate, and it goes through every state received the first dose, like Vermont, 69%, fully vaccinated, 53% in Vermont. Texas is somewhere down here, and just if you want to look at that, you can. That is in the article. But
did you notice a pattern on there? All those blue states have high vaccination numbers, and all the red states are up there with the low vaccination numbers.
I was thinking about that, but I didn't have enough time to analyze it like that. But good observation, sir.
You're right. You didn't need to analyze nothing. Georgia at the bottom too, dummy.
Are they really? Let me see.
Yes.
Yeah, they really are.
The governor banned schools from making people wear masks. He banned the
schools. That's just ludicrous.
Yeah, I knew Louisiana was going to be at the bottom.
Yeah, go ahead. One take. It's on you.
Man, it's crazy because I agree with everything they said because I don't see people. I mean, like right now, I go to Dollar General. It's like, we don't require people to wear masks. They're fully vaccinated. Bro, people be in there just like nobody. Like people look at that and say, "Oh, I got an option now. Like I'm just not gonna wear a mask no more." So that's pretty much what everybody like does. Like I go to the theater. I mean, I think I went to the theater recently, and I think everybody still wore a mask. But I thought, like Sharronda said, like nobody came through like checking on nothing. I really would like want to sit in there because they have the before the film comes on, they'll tell you like everything. Like we have this new technology where we like sanitize the theaters before and after screenings, and people come to the bathroom to clean them out every 30 minutes. Like you probably could just like kick it in the theater for like an hour and just see like, okay, y'all don't really be doing none of that.
Right.
So like I won't even just say it's gonna be just the theaters because me looking at it, I'm looking at like the NBA and how you see people in the crowd with no masks and cheering and they constantly yelling in those settings. It's just like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody. I think people just like, okay, we did. It's like they did their time. Like now they don't care like at all whether they get sick or not. And you only have a few people who getting vaccinated I know a couple people. I maybe know 3. That's about it, though.
Right on. Eman.
Well, I mean, look, I try to first of all, this whole pandemic had me and my anxiety through the roof. Like, even if like friends, family would come to the house, I'm like, hold on, like, here's a mask, hold on, So that was always something that got me, and I was hesitant at first about the vaccine as well, until I just started doing some reading. Like, I actually wanted to learn more. Like, how does the vaccine work? What does it do? Are there microchips in there? Whatever, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is that like when you follow the science, right? Huh?
But Eman, once I got my vaccine, my 5G is like on extra point.
As it should be, right? Because they're watching you. They're watching you anyway. But
and I don't even have a 5G phone.
But I ended up getting the vaccine, right? And I will say that it brought my anxiety all the way down, mainly because it had to do with me learning more about what it is, what it does, how it works, what I can do afterwards. So for example, if you get the vaccine, you're not like magically just safe automatically. You got to give it like time to work. You got to give your body time to adjust. So now when it came to this, recommendation, this guideline by the CDC, when they was like, hey, if you vaccinated, you can go, be maskless or whatever. I thought that was stupid to announce that for the very reason that many of y'all are talking about, because people are dumb. People will go lie. I mean, even up to the government, the White House, they were sitting here like, yeah, we agree with it. But the thing that got me was when you think about how the vaccine works, when you get in contact with somebody, let's just say that has it, you might catch some of the virus, but it's about the viral load, which means you might not have enough of the virus to actually make you sick if you're fully vaccinated. So what does that mean? So if I'm fully vaccinated, if we're all fully vaccinated, except for Larry, right, for whatever reason, and we're just out there, we're hanging out with no masks and stuff, we are okay. The only person at risk is Larry. And that is the thing that, like, if people want to be stupid and be maskless, that's a risk that they are taking, not the people that are vaccinated. Now, even though scientifically the numbers check out, that might make sense, I'm still wearing a mask. And that's just my personal preference. You know what I'm saying?
But also, too, you're only guaranteed, depending on what vaccine you have, a 95 or a 94% chance of being protected. There are still people who have gotten the vaccine who are catching COVID.
They call them breakthroughs.
COVID, and you're only protected against the first 2 strains of COVID. There are so many other variants. We're still going to have to get booster shots to protect you from the other ones. So no one is fully immune from anything. It's only from the 2 strains that are involved in the vaccines.
Exactly. And that's
what we really need to.
You're not like invincible. You just reduce your risk significantly. Now, I'm not, as a fully vaccinated person, I'm not going up to people's faces being like, hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing, y'all? Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting myself in reckless positions.
Why you leaning in like
now, I have a little bit more, confidence to go to a theater, still wear my mask, still social distance, but not have like high blood pressure if anybody breathes close to me or walks up too close. So that's all I'm saying is like, it's cool that they opening this up. The real people that are at a higher risk are those that just simply don't want to get vaccinated and still jump head first in front of crowded public areas and, again, just live recklessly. So,
yeah, I wear my mask everywhere I go. The only place I went over the weekend was a birthday party outside in a backyard, and pretty much everybody there was vaccinated. Even when I went
to a group event.
Outside,
yeah, that's fine.
In a backyard, and they had signs that was like, if you go inside to use the restroom, you have to wear your mask. And 75% of the people there was vaccinated.
Brandon, what are you worried about?
Well, I don't want to get into. I'll share those. I don't mind talking to you about it, but I don't want to get into that like offline. But
let me tell you what's worse than whatever you're thinking about with getting vaccinated is being on a ventilator. when you're up there with a tube stuck down your throat and you have a machine breathing for you, that is worse than I'm sure whatever it is you think might be coming from a vaccine.
Hey, and you may have to educate me further. I'm not just cutting you off or anybody else off. Just you don't know what you're talking about. My mind is made up. No, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not. I'm just
you just got to get comfortable with
it.
And that's fine. That's fine. Take your time.
Right.
Learn whatever you need to learn to make the best decision for you and yourself. I mean, look, the reason why I still decided to wear a mask is because it's not unanimous amongst people in the medical field. There's a like the CDC is like, oh, if you fully vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Okay, fine. The Nurses Association, these are people that are on the front lines. They're like, too early. Keep that mask on. So for me, I'm like, cool. Like, what am I about to do? Argue with y'all? Let me leave the mask on until y'all figure this out. Until y'all unanimous. Until y'all comfortable, then I'll be comfortable. So, for Brandon or anybody else out there that is kind of thinking a similar thing, just do your best to learn whatever you need to learn. Figure whatever you got to figure out that's best for you. I would just say whatever decision you make it based off of what you know and not what you don't know.
Right. And I've never been like, I'm never getting it. I'm not just opposed to it. It's just that I know a lot of educated people that have provided me information, so it just, gives me a little concern. Just like, okay, let me just wait it out. And it may just be my anxiety. And I don't mind saying that I'm afraid of it. I am. But, I still may get it. It's just, I'm not 100% there yet. I may get it.
Business. That's your business.
Yeah.
That's your business. I said a long time ago, I ain't arguing with nobody. If you don't want to get a vaccine, that's your business. Okay.
Exactly.
I know what I'm going to do. Be out in these streets vaccinated. With
Already.
That's all that matters. So you gotta let people worry about stuff for themselves. If they have to find out the hard way, they have to find out the hard way. But hopefully, y'all, get blessed with some reassurance. You want to go get a vaccine, but if you don't, that's your business.
Like, when I went to the post office today, I had my mask on. I was mean mugging people if they got too close to me. This one lady tried to come close, and I looked at her and looked down. There's a yellow line right there. Like, don't pass the yellow line. Like, I don't want to be close to you. So, I mean, I'm doing that at least, So
that's fine.
I'm loving ridiculous thoughts right now. His comment.
Where
Moderna resign.
Right on.
All up and down my body.
So I want to say this. What Sharronda was saying was true. There's gonna be another outbreak. The variants are out there. They're real, and there's new ones every day. Just today, I was listening to the news where they said they're starting a new categorization system based on the Greek alphabet in order to categorize them because there are so many of them.
Right.
And I really think this idea, people want to think, oh, we're in a post-pandemic world, the pandemic's over, we can go back to normal. I think this is part of the problem with our politicians and the media and everybody else. We need to get away from this idea of going back to normal. This is the new normal. We're going to have to live with this virus for the foreseeable future. And what we need to do is figure out how do we live with the virus, not just get back to normal. And I mean, and one other thing is that they've said that the number of deaths from things like the common cold and the flu have gone down considerably over the last year because people were wearing masks. And I think probably what they should do is from like October to like April, they should just tell you if you go into a public space like a store or a theater, you just have to wear a mask. I think it's just in the public interest.
I didn't expect to stay on this topic this long, but I'm interested now. Let me ask y'all this, and especially you, Sharronda and Larry, since we have all these new variants coming and things of that nature, unfortunately, people that are fully vaxxed or are they going to have to come out with a whole completely new vaccine and you got to go through the process again?
No, you have to take
booster.
Everybody, first of all, this is it's the same as the flu vaccine. Every year you have to get a flu vaccine. Every year they predict this is the flu vaccine. Every year they predict what strains of the flu is going to be prevalent in the upcoming cold and flu season. So that's why some people like, I got a flu shot, but I still got the flu. That's because they guessed wrong. And that wasn't the variants that were going to come out this year. So no matter what, you're going to have to get a booster shot. you're gonna have to keep getting these shots every single year. You're gonna have to do this every single year. It doesn't just go away. It just continues to mutate every single year. So that's why it's like y'all are removing masks. Like COVID didn't
Y'all
go
being
anywhere.
reckless.
Right.
So,
And
do
here's the thing.
you get a
And
flu
here's
shot
the
every
thing
year?
too.
Yeah, if I'm traveling, yes. But if I'm not traveling, no. But since I'm around my god babies all the time and they be sick and they little nasty classmates be sick, I get a flu shot just because I'm around them.
I haven't had a flu shot in 15 years.
And here's the thing: if you get a flu shot, they may like Sharronda said, they may have guessed wrong. They may have put the flu shot designed for particular strains, and then a new one pops up, and that's fine. But what happens is when you get that flu vaccine, you may get the flu, but what you're not going to do is die from it.
Right.
You know, you may get
not-
sick and be uncomfortable, and you may be coughing for the next 2 weeks trying to get the phlegm out your lungs, but you'll be alive to do it.
And the other thing to consider, though, is like the reason why the flu and the flu vaccines and stuff, you know, when people were like, COVID is just like the flu. No, it's not. Because the thing is, we have way more people that have built up immunity and are vaccinated with the flu that even if you never got the flu vaccine, you have a lot less risk of catching it because there's a lot less chance of people spreading it. So it's the same, but unlike with COVID, because right now we don't have herd immunity. You know, we don't have enough people that are vaccinated to isolate the disease or the the virus wherever you go. That's why it's easier to catch that compared to catching the flu. So the more people get vaccinated, the more, antibodies that are built up over time, then, the less chance of it becoming back to pandemic levels.
But also, let's be clear though, the flu kills people every year.
Yeah.
When the flu first got started, don't forget about the Spanish influenza. The whole U.S. was shut down. It was killing so many people. So like, I don't want us to talk about like, oh, it's just the flu. The flu kills people every single year, and the flu was killing people at the same rate that COVID was killing people back in the day. But guess what? Hoes went out there and got vaccinated.
Exactly.
Herd immunity, and now
exactly.
I just got the flu. I can go get a Z-Pack. So I just think the biggest part of it is, first, people need to understand vaccines. Like, for everyone talking about, I ain't getting no vaccine. You know how much crap they shot you up with when you were a baby and you turned out fine. So it's just, if y'all don't want to get a shot, don't get your shot.
Yeah.
But I didn't know way too many people who have died. 34-year-old just had somebody from our high school. She got COVID when she was pregnant. She had to be induced. She had her baby. After she had her baby, she went on a ventilator and she never came back. She died within a month. Her baby's father, her boyfriend, couldn't even be in the hospital with her because he had to take care of their newborn baby, and you couldn't be in the hospital with somebody with COVID. And she was in her 30s, her early 30s. So for people saying they good, if y'all good, you like it, I love it. But at the end of the day, there is people out here dying. And unfortunately, we're in a situation where it has to affect you. You have to get COVID and be sick, or you have to lose a loved one in order for people to care. And that's just the society we live in. Everybody's selfish. They only worry about themselves. So at the end of the day, like, if people feel, honestly, it sucks, but it has to affect you personally for you to care about COVID.
Which is so sad.
I want to point out, somebody in the comments says ZSB Lou says Tuskegee. I'm going to leave it at that. That is sort of a cop out. I mean, I'm not saying that what they did with the Tuskegee experiment wasn't absolutely horrific and should never be repeated ever anywhere. But it's sort of a cop-out at this point to just say Tuskegee and I'm not going to get vaccinated. Let's not forget that one of the main researchers behind this vaccine is a Black woman at NIH, you know? And let's not also forget that we use so much medical technology that we simply don't understand. I can tell you right now, if you go out there and you go to a bar and you pick up some jump off and you end up getting a clap, you're going to take your ass down to the pharmacy and go get some penicillin. And I guarantee you do not understand the technology behind that. You do not, but you're going to use it anyways. So stop BSing, go get vaccinated so that you don't get yourself sick and you don't get anybody else around you sick.
And I would just say this: if anybody's out there that's like hesitant about getting the vaccine, all I would say is you need to pay attention to the herd immunity. Like, for example, right now in Illinois, I want to say like 40% of people have gotten the second shot of the vaccine. That's not enough for herd immunity, which means it's not enough for someone that's not vaccinated to just walk out and just feel super confident that they're not going to catch it. Herd immunity is usually around like 80%, 85% or higher. So if your area is not that high with everyone else vaccinated, you're putting yourself more at risk. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to understand the risks that you are taking for yourself and those around you. So the whole United States is not even close to, like, I don't even think we've hit 50%. So just realize we're not even close to the level of vaccinations or herd immunity that we have with the cold or the flu or other things that we still need to get booster shots for. We still got to get vaccinated for those things. But this is a very new virus. We're still learning about it. We're still learning about the after effects of it 6 to 8 months after people have caught it. So be careful out there. That's all.
Here's the thing. Once a virus is out there in the wild, it's there forever. We're still dealing with viruses from decades and decades. I mean, there's still people out there getting, still getting smallpox, and we've had vaccinations
for bubonic plague for all the anti-vaxxers, measles. There's a measles epidemic now because people aren't getting vaccinated. So
it's all out there. But here's the thing: if you get enough people to get vaccinated, what happens is there's far fewer people out there with it. The virus doesn't have as many places to go, and so it can't mutate. And if it can't mutate, it's the same old thread. It's the same old strand of virus that we know about. Our body knows how to fight it. There's vaccines that we know how to deal with it. And so it just becomes less prevalent in society as a whole. And we do know how to take care of it once our body is exposed to it, because it's the same old thing. But when people don't get vaccinated, those things just keep going out there and they mutate. And the next thing you know, there's something out there that the vaccines don't work on. And then we have another big ass pandemic, whether it be globally like this or whether it be regional or whatever. But we can stop all that by simply getting vaccinated.
Right on. Well, like everyone here is saying, and also in the chat, very good points from everybody. And I really do appreciate the dialogue. So